So we're red on the day, but not taking out Tuesday's lows. That's really going to be what's kind of critical for this week, is not taking out these lows, right? Not taking out these lows, or if we poke the lows, we get back above them. I can see the market manipulating a little bit. So for futures traded out there, I mean, you're accustomed to that stuff, right? Where the market comes in, test lows, test these levels. That could be like little liquidity sweep, and then all of a sudden we pop back. Doesn't happen as much in stocks and indexes, but the market can clearly play some games. I think the key here is that we don't close lower, okay? Especially going into this Friday, tomorrow, to end the week. We don't really want to see price closing lower, okay? So if we get a little relief rally, that is good. I am wondering if this is a little tiny bullish pattern. Maybe it is, but the market's clearly figuring it out. But if it takes out the low, we've got some more pain ahead. But taking out the low, if it pulls back, that would be that little bit of divergence, maybe like a little bear trap. So just because the percentages and the corrections, the technicals look pretty decent. I still wonder how bad the sentiment is, which should have printed today or prints end of day. I mean, look at this. So 226 was the 1-year bearish high on sentiment. Right now this is crazy. This is crazy. Like how consistent and how bearish this market actually is. This typically is a contrarian indicator. So this to me is showing if there's like record amounts of put buying, you don't see that crowd rewarded very often. So we are getting some bearish extremes here, but yet we're not seeing price. Price is not going the other way, right? Like price is stalling at these lows, not necessarily going back up. So I'm curious if we have that bit of a sentiment swing where things kind of ease a little bit, or this is just a nice contrarian signal where everyone's bearish and the market just decides to go back up. So anyway, we'll see. But this is some pretty wild stuff. If you take a look at the fear and greed index right now, again, the contrarian to me, extreme fear. I mean, Buffett's famous saying, buy when others are fearful, sell when others are greedy. When I'm seeing extreme fear, it's difficult to time. It may not be perfect, but at least in the near term, I think we could have some dips. Okay. We've got extreme fear in market momentum. We've got extreme fear in stock price strength. We have extreme fear in price breadth. We have extreme fear in the put option. So put call options. So puts extremes, like they're not crazy back to like where we saw it August, like August 5th when the market bottomed out. Everyone was just buying crazy amounts of put just in case, and ended up being like one of the strongest bottoms of the year. Back here in April, same thing. We had a 5% sell-off in the S&P, 6% in the NASDAQ. Everyone's buying puts at the bottom. So we're not quite up to those extreme highs, but man, I would not be surprised to see with record-breaking like put volume that extreme fear is going to be kind of the opposite trade. Market volatility, fear-based, safe haven, extreme fear, junk bond demand, extreme greed. That's interesting. Junk bonds, high yield versus investment grade. But okay, we're finally starting to see some pretty big shifts. And when everyone's crowded out on one side, I tend to think that it's wise to position the other way. I know. I mean, it's not perfect. I mean, look, sentiment itself is not a signal, right? Sentiment is not a signal. So this is probably more of an anticipation trade than, I don't know if it's George Soros or Druckenmiller saying where it's like, I'd rather step into the game after the game has started than, walking into something too early. So it was some baseball analogy where it's like, before the game has started, I'd rather, play the game in the second inning or something like that. I don't know, whatever. I'm paraphrasing. Point is, at these lows, anticipating these lows, I don't know if this is the low. I kind of would think that it is. I mean, I spent weeks and weeks and weeks planning for this market to correct, hedging for this correction, and that was good. So a lot of good things did happen here as far as making some gains on the way down. However, the velocity in which it fell and how one-sided it was also changed a lot of option prices aggressively. So, for my ratio spreads and for my cash secured puts, I mean, those were out of the money plays that are now a lot closer to the money. Those deltas changed quite a bit, and those option prices traded quite a bit as well. So point is, if we are going to hold here, it would be kind of nice. So, I mean, and the wild thing is, even going back to like 2022, I mean, I guess if you want to look at like how bad could it get? Well, we obviously in 2022 had a nasty flush. That was a 12% drop that then pulled back a decent amount, right? So could it be that? Sure. But I don't see this market dropping like 15 to 20% without having a pullback. Go back to, I mean, are we having a COVID crash right now? I don't think so. Are we having a Volmageddon event right now? Not really. We've had persistent VIX. Are we going back to a great financial crisis? I don't think so. And even that was not straight flush, right? I mean, when this thing started to top over in 2007, it's still sell-offs. I mean, we went down around 5%, pulled back, right? When we had the nastier flushes, this went down around almost 9%, then pulled back. This was one of the worst flushes here. We go from this high to low. That's down about 16%. We still pulled back. So point is, I'm watching, and hopefully we have a little bit of a relief just in the near term.
If you'd like to see more of our free daily chart of the days, make sure to join our Telegram channel if you have not already joined. And if you are already in the Telegram channel, make sure to hit that thumbs up button to support our work. Also, quick reminder that if you're looking for free tools and free education in the trading space, head over to a1trading.com. You can check out our free technical, fundamental courses and much more.